Welcome again. In the previous lecture, we have looked into the constant rule, like how we can have a constant value rule utilized for our data conversion in our LSMW. So in this lecture, we will talk about fixed value reusable. What do you mean by reusable? I will show you in a bit. So again, we will go to that step, maintain field mapping and conversion rules, because here basically we set our rules for data conversion for certain fields where we basically assign the source fields to our target fields. So I'm going to select that field right now. As you know, like we in our previous lecture, we have maintained the constant value and we give the value US for that, and we remove that column from our file because we really don't need that anymore. So I'm going to select that field and go to the rule. uh, Once you click on this rule, this window pop up. Here you need to select fixed value reusable, and then you will click continue. Then this window get popped up. So here basically you have three options. Either you can give a name for this rule. You can have your own name here. Either you can accept the first proposal from system or a second proposal. So I'm gonna go with the second proposal because this is the field name. Like this is the system field name for bank country key. So I'm gonna go with that. Click continue, and here you can have if you want to make some changes to the description of that, or maybe the the name of that rule. Right here you can make the changes you can. Here I'm gonna strict that to 2. Obviously the standard length for that field is 3, but we don't want to have anything more than 2 because the country key is 2 characters. And then here you will give the value. And then if your values contains uh, uppercase and lowercase letters, then you need to select that option. Otherwise system will capitalize everything you have maintained here. So if you, let's say if you want to maintain that like that, if you select that option here, then its system will keep it like this. But that is not the case in our LSMW, because we have always capital US. So because this is the country key, that's how it is maintained in the system, and we cannot really change that. So and then once you maintain all this information, then we click continue here. And here you can see that the value is changed to, the rule is changed to fixed value reusable, and your like the recording of banks, from where it's gonna get that, it's FV banks. What does that mean? With this is the fixed value rule system has created. Now if we come into that option, maintain fixed values translation and user defined routines, here you will see that fixed value right there. Now you can see that that fixed value information is maintained here. If you select the field and go into that, here you can see that this is the information we have maintained, and this is the value it's gonna get. And if you wanted to make the change into that, you can do that. Here you can come and select the this pencil button and change if you wanted to change anything here. So that's how, when you use like the fixed value or any other like translation or user defined routines in your field mapping, then all information populated in this option right here. So let me talk about a little bit more about different options we have. I will not go much into detail, because if there would be a case where you need to have these kind of things, then obviously you can use that. So if you click on rule, you can see that we have different things like prefix, suffix. If you wanted to have, like for any of your records, you wanted to have a prefix of like 3 zeros in the beginning or 3 zeros at the end of your data, you can set a prefix for that field here. And then any ABAP code, obviously if that would be the case, any user defined routines, this is more of a development stuff where you will be working with the technical team. So it will be kind of a joint venture where you will be working with the technical team to set up that LSMW. But we will be just covering this constant and fixed value because we really don't have much here um relevant to us as a functional consultant or a key business user or analyst. So here you can see that I just wanted to go over with you like what are these different options. You can see that you could have concatenation if you want to have two fields concatenate, and then obviously ABAP code, user defined routine, and then obviously constant. Uh, we already discussed that transfer move is the default, and then fixed value translation. So that's how basically you can utilize these different options if you wanted to. But normally you just deal with this fixed value and fixed value and constant if you normally have. So we just maintain this information. Now let's go back to our LSMW again because obviously we we have to maintain the values here, new values here, because the rest is already created. The previous bank keys are already created, so obviously we wanted to maintain this information. So now the bank, I just changed the bank keys here, and now let's go back and start reading the data. So system is reading the file now. 9 records read, 9 written. Let's display the read data here. Here you can see that again the value is not populating. All you are seeing is the bank key and bank name. As I mentioned earlier, you will see all this information in your convert data. So here, once the conversion is completed, then you will see the value in the display converted data option. So you can see that again the US is coming across, and now we were using fixed value reusable field. And as I mentioned, like what do you mean by reusable? So when we say reusable, so it's not really like whatever we have done here, it's not just here anymore. Now you can see that the field is populated here as well. So if we will be using the same LSMW with the different recording here in the first option, then you will be able to utilize the same fixed value if you want to. So obviously if you will be using that fixed value, then at the transfer rule you have to select that rule, whatever is built in that fixed value column. So whatever the name you have, like right now we have, for this rule we have given the name banks. So obviously you will be using that name of this rule to have this worked for your LSMW. Now let's create the batch input session. And now the batch input was created with 9 transactions. Let's process that over and see how it goes. Display errors only and process. Here you go. And go to sessions overview, and here you can see that uh, all the transactions were processed. Let's go over these, and here you can see that all the bank keys were created and there was nothing in error. So that's how basically you can utilize your LSMW using the fixed value reusable rule. So it was all about in this lecture. I will stop here and I will see you in our next lecture.